How low can you go? That is from Ludacris, Chris Bridges. I like that guy. He's a good rapper and an actor. So anyways, today we got my very first Auto World that's going to enter my collection. Truthfully, I've been avoiding this brand because I just hate the ghostly white headlights and the opening panel gaps aren't really bother me. But I lived in Los Angeles for quite a while, and I love all car culture, and lowriders are cool. My friend Martin actually took me for a spin in his brother's hydraulics. I think it was a Cadillac, but the thing was hilarious. It rode pretty stiff having hydraulics, but the thing would go up and down and all that stuff, so it was cool. Anyway, so when I saw these Auto Worlds here, actually Champion DJK, I was watching his channel, and I think I first saw these on his channel. Yeah, I figured, why not? I'll get these. Later on, I'm going to try to do like a brand comparison, just explain what brands are good at what and what, compared to their price value. And so it wouldn't be fair to have that comparison without this brand in it, right? So being my very first one, standard packaging, I guess, your standard blister kind of stuff. Little snippet of info on low riding. I like the fact that it's got this little extra box if you want to store the thing. Although I'm going to display mine in a different display case. Okay, so let's get this stuff out. Alright, so it's nice that the box actually has the car information on it. It would be ideal if that information was on the ends, so when you stack these up, if you decide to store them this way, you could just look down on that side. So that's one feedback it would be nice to have for Auto World. This whole limited edition thing, I'm not sure if I'm buying that really. Like, I don't know, I guess they're trying to make them more collectible, but I just feel if you make a good model, make as many as you want and let people buy them. But that's just me. I'm not an economist. So the Chevy Impala here, it originated in 1958. It is named after the very popular African antelope that's very graceful. But unfortunately, that's the antelope that always gets eaten by lions and cheetahs and jaguars and hyenas, and is pretty much the hamburger of the African plains. But anyways, this is the third generation Impala that was sold, I guess, between 1961 and 1964. And there's a bunch of engine choices, as usual with American cars. Either 3.8 liters all the way up to a 6.7 liter, making over 400 horsepower. And then the SS package, I believe, on this particular Impala was just like a chrome trim package, not really a performance-related thing. Okay, so hopefully, I don't know if you've been able to compare the photo to the model. But looking at it, I guess it's alright. It's not really possible to hold them exactly next to each other, but yeah, I mean the grill looks alright. Obviously the wheels are different because this is a lowrider, but the window surround, the little chrome strip going down the top side. Alright. What about this rear view here? We got the 6 taillights, chrome bumper, pretty big steering wheel. Yeah, alright. The badge in the back. So, I think overall it looks pretty good. I have no reason to doubt that it's not 1/64 scale, since it's such a big part of its packaging and part of the reason why people, their marketing effort here. This is a heavy model. This whole metal base, riveted together, the whole topping. This is a really heavy model. Granted, it's also a big car. Okay, let's start with the review here. I'm curious to see what's the quality of these things myself. Okay, first, this printing is awesome, and this is why I decided to buy some Auto Worlds. I mean, obviously this is not a stock vehicle. This is a cool pattern. It reminds me of either wallpaper. That's what it looks like. It looks like some sort of wallpaper. But it's got a nice, border around it as well. It does seem to have like the engine, the displacement flags there. I guess so this would be a 409. I don't know how many cubic inches, 400 something. Sorry, I stopped working in the English system a long time ago. Metric is just easier. Alright, so yeah, back here it says Impala. Let's see if it's legible. Yeah, it is. Impala SS. Alright, so that looks good. The wheels, you know, they're pretty good for, you know, the wire wheels. I assume these are supposed to be like Dayton's or something. You know, they're highly chromed out, chromed plastic. The white ring on the tire isn't bad. It's not 100% centered properly, but it's better than I've seen on green lights. Okay. That door handle. Boy, there's a lot of different reflections going on here, so my camera's having a hard time focusing. There we go. So the door handle does seem to stick out, so that's good. And then you can see a tiny keyhole there. Or maybe that's the little button you press with your thumb. I'm not sure exactly, but there's a tiny detail and it's there. So then we got this little silver paint here on the bottom, which is probably like a chrome piece on the real car. It does seem to have molded in bumpers. Okay, so yeah, the bumper's molded in. It's not bad though. You know, it's like the silver isn't running onto the blue, or the blue isn't running onto the silver, so I guess it's alright. Okay, well, we got the 6 taillights. They are painted. They look okay. What's really nice is it looks like there's a gap between the red taillight and the silver ring around it. So I'm going to try to zoom in on that again. Let's see what... Yeah, so that's nice. I think that's... Yeah, that seems accurate to the rear vehicle. At least the picture I'm looking at. But they also do it because it's just easier to put red on. You know, it doesn't bottom out against the silver, right? Unfortunately, there does seem to be a little red running off there, so that's too bad. I don't know if I can chip that off. Yeah. I'll try to do it. Oh, I did chip it off, so I'll get to that later. Alright, so I do like the fact that there's something in the license plate. It's a 62 SS. Does it say estate? Ah, boy. It's too close. I can't tell what state that is or what it says above 62 SS. Kentucky. Okay. So that's really cool. This is my first model I've seen where it actually has the state on it. A lot of my models, they have something on the license plate, but it doesn't actually say what state and year. So that's pretty cool. Very nice, Auto World. Alright, so yeah, we got this Chevy Impala crest here. It looks really nice. All sorts of different colors going on there. You know, gold, red, some dots in it. So that's really good crisp printing. And then next on the right it says Impala SS, so that's really good too. This blue metallic is really nice. It's not the smoothest clear coat, but it's still perfect, pretty darn good. Unfortunately, you're not going to get some contaminants in there. Contaminant, some sort of casting bulge, contaminant. But I guess I'm okay with it because these Auto Worlds aren't super expensive. They're like under $10, right? Okay. So it's nice that this isn't just a plain black interior. I'd rather have a plain blue interior than black. I'm just so bored of black interiors. No additional color, no additional printing or anything like that, but for the price I guess it's okay. And I gotta say that the actual molding tightness is pretty nice. I mean, these are some really tight ribs here on the seats. And then look how thin this shifter is, right? So that's pretty good. I can't see much of the dashboard because it's in shadow. I'll get a flashlight and see if we can see. There we go. Yeah, there's a bit of overhang there. Some buttons and whatnot, so not bad. Not bad at all. Steering wheel has some pretty nice detail. I'm sure that's accurate to a real Impala. Okay, the doors. Yeah, look at that. I got a checker pattern on the door. Even the wind down window handles. So yeah, that's really nice. Okay, I like it. Alright. Just looking if any major casting problems here. I did notice back on this side, like here in the silver, I'm guessing maybe the metal flows around there, but there's just a bunch of metal missing there. But on, I don't know, it's weird because on this side it's perfectly fine. Okay, so now, so yeah, typical of most US brands, I'm not really a fan of these headlights. They're ghostly white. It's like a demon possessed car with just plain white. But I guess if the rest of it's silver, it wouldn't look much better if these were silver. So I guess, I don't know, I just kind of wish they had graphics. Hot Wheels does a really good job printing, you know, shadows and artifacts in their prints, and just make them look a lot more realistic. It'd be great if Auto Wheel could adopt that technology and have some sort of printed graphic on their headlights. License plate looks good. Some ribbing here looks good. The grill is really nice. You got these tiny, you know, molded in recesses in each of these segments. So it's really good. I was wondering if there's like a black paint or anything, but it might just be the depth of them. It's hard to say. It's so thin, like dental pick can't even go inside of it. So I think it might just be a recess, but it's so well done. It looks like there's a black block of air, you know? Okay. So the emblem on the front here is nicely done as well, and then we got the cool pattern on the hood. And then we got these silver things here. Not sure what those are called, but they're protruding upwards. Okay, so this is the problem why I was avoiding it, this brand. In this gap here, it has to be big because it has to open. Otherwise it would scratch the paint on both pieces. The side isn't as bad naturally, it's a little tighter. The question is this engine worth looking at? Well, first, it's dark, so you can't see much of it unless you whip out a flashlight. Eh, boy. I mean, it's an indication of an engine. I don't know, it's just, even if, it's not great. It's not a great engine. It's nice that it's not just one color, you know, there's some silver and some black. But I just kind of feel it's not worth doing, you know, putting your budget into that and then, you know, sacrificing the look of the outside of the car. Because again, most cars in the real world, when you walk by them, they don't have the hoods up. Most cars have the hoods closed, right? So, like the panel gap on this is so noticeable. Yeah, I mean, I can see it through my camera screen this far away. But the back, you know, like, it's a nice tight line. It's just a consistent gap, which looks more realistic to me. So I like the back view of this car much more than the front view, because, you know, the back gap is much wider than the side gaps. It's not as bad in this blue, so that's one of the reasons why I chose this color. It's darker, it would help hide that gap. Okay, well, it is what I expected. I suppose I'm happy with it because it's a lowrider. If it wasn't a lowrider, if it didn't have all this cool graphic stuff on it, I probably wouldn't have bought this. But because it is part of a car culture, and in particular, I've seen this car culture myself living in Los Angeles, so it just brings back some memories, you know? It's cool. It's definitely cool. I mean, it reminds me of, you know, a lot of music I used to listen to as well, in those music videos. Anyways, I do have some other Auto Worlds coming up. I have 3 more. I want to give this brand a good chance to represent itself when I do my brand comparison. So, on the whole, it's an alright model, I would say. Factoring the price is pretty good. I just kind of wish that they got away with the opening panels, and then it would be a really fantastic model. But that's just my opinion. Everyone's, you know, open to their own. Seems like a lot of people love looking at these engines. Although again, what percentage of the time do you look at a car engine versus the rest of the car with the hood closed? That's my reasoning. Very well, I guess that's it. So try to stay low and roll slow.